Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning how to shift your paradigm. In other words, how to get out of the box. You see, you are raised to think a certain way, to believe a certain way, to act a certain way, to talk a certain way, and so on. And all of that is what would mean if you were trapped in a certain paradigm. Because it's a certain way of belief, it's a certain way of thinking, it's a certain way of seeing yourself, seeing others, seeing the world, and so on. And so with me growing up in the Caribbean, and the last church I would have gotten myself involved in was the Third Exodus Assembly. And if you're listening to me and you do not know anything about the Third Exodus Assembly, you can check out Vin Dial and the $28 million and his $10 million bill that he's on right now. Okay. And so the reason why I end up being in the Third Exodus Assembly is that from a little boy growing up with tears in my eyes and mismouth in my chest, I was asking myself, who am I? And who's God? And so, because I had a misunderstood life, I couldn't understand myself because I didn't really know that I was a mystic. I wasn't know that I was a true prophet that will come into this world to help people to live the best version of their life. I didn't know that. Okay. And so, from a very early stage, I started to seek to know who am I and who is God. And to cut a long story short, when I found God, I found my true self, my higher self. And with that, I found the kingdom of God within me. And then I understand why I was told to seek ye first in Matthew 6:33, to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto me. And so I had to break out of the Third Exodus paradigm. I had to break out of my childhood paradigm. I had to break out of the educational paradigm, out of the religious paradigm. Okay? And all the other boxes that they put you in. I had to break out of that. And so when I had my awakening and I became enlightened to the people who do not understand what I was going through, they call me a crazy man. People, especially my own brothers in Africa, they say that he smoke weed. And they were talking so much negative things. And the comments are there, you can go and check them back out, right? They're talking so much negative things about people in Jamaica, thinking I'm from Jamaica and so on, and speaking negative thing about people who did not know. But because they would have put Vin Dial on a pedestal, as they always do, put preachers on pedestal and so on, you know, they felt hurt. And I could understand that because I remember how I used to compromise a lot when I used to go to church, when people tell me things about the pastor in my country here from the Third Exodus Assembly, also because there's a Third Exodus Assembly up here. And I could go into a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, but I wouldn't go into certain things right now. Right? They used to tell me certain things, and I actually went back to them and apologized and tell them, well, it was true that you were saying, and deep within I knew there were certain things that you were saying was true, but I was just compromising. I had to apologize to you because I had to be real. I've always been this real. Even when I was attending Third Assembly, and so I was real. I remember quite vividly the job I was doing at the post office as a postman. They threatened me many times to fire me if I don't stop speaking to people when I go out to deliver mails, if I stop witnessing to people, because I always had this kind of fire. Okay, because it wasn't, you know, about me trying to have a certain position or anything like that, because many people think I wanted Vin Dial position. Many people think no, I never wanted to be a pastor or preacher. I had many opportunities since I was a little boy. Every church I go to, the preachers always embrace me and always tell me there was something special about me, and God gonna use me mightily. And right now that's what's happening, but not the way that they think. Okay. And so, my brother, my sisters, I'm saying all of this to show you that you have to be willing to unlearn, relearn, and reprogram your subconscious mind. And never judge a man before you listen to the man. And so, from a very early stage when I was doing these videos, I knew exactly what I was doing. Okay, I knew that if I present myself a certain way, they would say all kind of thing about me because they judge me from outer appearance. They wasn't listening to the things I was saying. Okay, Vin Dial, on the other hand, he dressed in his jacket and tie. He shaved, all of that. You catch what I'm saying? They love him, they embrace him. But I'm telling you the truth. I remember two young men who stayed with me one time in this country from Trinidad, from the Todex Assembly while they was up here. And Vindial was up here too. And the way those young men speak about Vindial, they had Vindial like a role model. They was looking up to this man so much. And to see how, he disappoints so many people. And then, because the people are so wrapped up and tied up in what they've been taught, I get to understand they have a breakaway now where one of the brother go and he take a lot of people now and he has his own thing. Okay, I don't want to talk from second-hand information. I'm not quite sure, but if anyone have any information or give me some information, I'll definitely take the information. I remember quite vividly when I went down to that same Todex assembly the very first time. People was looking for me. They would say, where's the man who find the tapes? But they wasn't saying, where's the man? You understand? Who had these kind of mystical experiences. They wasn't talking that part because I don't know if the pastor, the person who they share it and tell them if he only give them one part of the story. Okay, they wasn't saying that. But few brothers, maybe I think maybe because we went by Mac Bean. Okay, and they share with some other brother. Oh, this brother's supposed to be. I think he made the pillar of fire and all of that, right? And I remember this brother talking about, oh, if you made it feel fire, that doesn't mean you're in the bride, and this about the bride and that the bride. I always remember those things quite vivid. And look at this guy like, oh. I always knew something was wrong and something was off. You understand? But to cut a long story short, my brother and my sisters, we all been raised to be trapped in boxes, and we call them paradigm. So I'm saying you can shift out of that paradigm by having a new mindset. That's what I would have done. And anyone could look around and see my life after Third Exodus Assembly. All the people say, oh, he smoke weed, he crazy. Okay, results don't argue, results don't lie. Okay, I've teach countless amount of people all around the world how to create their reality consciously. For example, right in my country right here, a young man who was in over $100,000 in debt, and his parents, they're Christians going to church, and he leave his job with the government, and the only person who support his move was me. And I was explaining certain things for him because he used to listen to certain people on the internet, and most of the people he was listening to were white men, and they were speaking certain things more on a scientific level. So I had to explain to him what they're speaking on a scientific level. You have to understand it on a scriptural level, because we were raised to believe that spirituality is different to science and technology. We believe that science is different to spirituality, and I had to merge them together and show him. And today he's killing it. He almost, I think by now he's supposed to pay off the $100,000, and he's killing it, man. He's killing it in this country right now. I don't want to give out too much, but this man is killing it. You understand? And so, my brother and my sisters, when I started to do videos on the internet, I wasn't coming to be seen or to be heard as some people was judging me. You see, I asked my mother when I became a big man, you know what I mean? I asked my mother, why is it when I went to school, I never fail, but when it's time to do what they call the common entrance, okay, to go to another level, which is like the secondary school, which I still end up in secondary school, right? But I had to do school leavings, and I came second overall in the country, okay? And why I couldn't do common entrance? Because I was too old. My mother told me when I was a little boy, I never used to want to go to school. I used to want to go under the fruit cheese, mango cheese, and so on. I remember those fruit cheese Marshall. They used to call it person Marshall, Mr. Marshall. She said I used to go under those mango cheese. I used to always pick up a bunch of mangoes that drop off the cheese and heat them up there for people. When they pass by, they would get some mango to eat. So there's something inside of me. I always want to help people. I always want to uplift people. And that's why I keep doing the same thing. Because, you see, my ex-pastor in St. Vincent from the Todex Assembly used to all the time say, what a man hides in secret, it will come out openly, something like that. He would always go back to what he loved secretly, okay? And, for example, I never hide my secret of having a healthy, you understand, and built body. Though people used to chant me in Third Exodus Assembly for having a well-built body and going to the gym and taking care of myself, especially Brother Ken. Okay, and even when this man Jennings, Brother Jennings from down same Third Exodus, man, they used to batter this man so much because this man put on a t-shirt that a little bit, you know, on his body, which I like to put on t-shirts like that too. Okay, you're just appreciating your accomplishment, you know, because it take a lot of mind. It's more mind power going to the gym and taking care of yourself and so on, right? They criticize you and so on. Even the past Vindial daughter, when she one did what she did, Sunrise, she name or something like that, they used to criticize she plenty and asking that. Man, it's a bunch of things, but I don't want to go into all of those things. So, my brother and my sisters, you know, if you listen to me, you don't know anything about the Third Exodus Assembly and all of that. I just giving you a background so you know where I come from and so on, and why I'm doing this thing that I'm doing here, and how much I want to help you, I want to uplift you. You may have had a journey through secular Christianity, raised in Christianity. You may born and grow up in the Caribbean, and we were raised to have a colonial mentality. You know, religion have been forced upon us because they've been put into the school system. School is to train you just for the factories and so on. But you have in you certain faculties, certain mental faculties. You have your will, you have your perception, you have your reasoning, you have your memory, you have your intuition, and above all, you have your imagination. And that is actually God in man, your imagination, your power to imagine, your power to create, your power to shape and mold. The pattern is speaking of your imagination. Okay, but they make you always be looking on the outside. So I remember a sister and daughter assembly, and my sister, I love you. Reach out to me if anybody if you get to see this video. She said she would take my books and she would take the leaf of my books to wipe her ass. I try to remember her name, you know, because most of them down there, they have Bible names. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to say it's Rebecca because I can't remember the name. I can't remember if that was the name or whatever. But I always love the people down there, my brothers and my sisters. And I would have, I had decided never to disappoint Vin and the brothers down there. I mean to say, when I used to go down there, there's sisters that I see that I like. One particular sister, I used to really like that sister. You know what I mean? And doesn't matter what my spirit tell me, because I didn't want to go against what they were saying and so on, based on what they were saying. I never approach, I never really share my sentiments and so on and all of that. I never do none of that. Okay, you know, because, you know, I had these brother Vin and these people on a certain level too. You understand? So when you hear me talking about hate or anything, but I'm a very observant person when I talk about the pilot and Vin, because I was very observant. Vin used to watch me, I used to watch Vin. Don't make nobody fool you. Because you see, people could pick up people energy. They could pick up what we call energy, spirit. What we call spirit, the same energy. You understand? So I could know whether use a respecter person, you're not a respecter person. I've always been this kind of person. I'm not a respecter person. Of persons. I've always been this kind of person. You know amount of videos I could make about Third Assembly up here and all the things that happen and ways happening. You know the kind of things I could go into, but I'm not gonna go down there. I don't want to go down those kind of road. You know, I just want to uplift people, and I just want to encourage people to believe in themselves. Okay, and to live the best version of themselves on this planet. So break out of all of the paradigm that is keeping you limited. All is mine. Everything starts here. Okay? So that means, my brother and my sister, I'm going to come to close, and I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time they listen to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to have one-on-one with me, you need coaching, you need mentoring, you want me to open the Bible to you and teach you the Bible metaphysically, esoterically, you want me to teach you the Bible psychologically, you want me to teach you the Bible to use it practically in your life and get results in your life. You want to live your life sumptuously. You wanna have and be whatever you want to have and be in this world without guilt or shame, without thinking that it is coming from some evil place. You want to live that life. You want to live and vibrate and the energy I love, you can definitely reach out to me. Also, if you like to get my latest book, it's called The Secret Vagina, Mystery of the Virgin Birth. Also, you have Spiritual Recipe for Better Living, How to Turn Water into Wine. Your mood is your fault. You have to open the floodgates of abundance. We're dealing with Malachi chapter 3 and so on. And much more books. Okay, also my journals where you can journal your life every day. Remember, Habakkuk tell you, write down the vision, make it plain. Be definite about why you can have anything and be anything you want in this world. Just like how Vin got 28 million plus 2.6 million. But you could get it with integrity. You could get it without hurting people's feelings. You could get it. You know, because you just have to know what you want. You just have to know how much you want. You just have to understand certain principles. You just have to understand certain law and order and work according to those law and order. And as a true prophet and mystic, I'm here to help you. I'm not going to point you to look on the outside when the kingdom of God is within you. I'm point you to look within yourself. I'm not telling you to believe in me. People believe in Vin. People believe in William Branham. People believe in all of these people. And I'm the only man ever meet William Branham. I meet William Branham in Dreamland. They normally call that place where I meet William Branham Woodland. They say normally when you go to Woodland, you don't come back from Woodland. I just go there regularly. There's a girl who died from Jung. She Jung in Jamaica, and that girl and me used to move real good. I used to be her personal chair. I used to wake up all in the morning. Sometimes she used to be on the beach bathing. You understand? I remember quite vividly, many years ago, I wanted was to be close to her and be her friend. You understand? But when we come to that closeness, I was already speaking to someone, right? And I was trying my best to teach her to swim. She wanted so much to learn to swim. But she was so fearful. And when you read in the book of Job, he said the things that I fear most that come upon me. People don't understand how the mind works. And she died in Jamaica after she got married and everything. And she come from a very, very wealthy family, eh? Okay, and she died. By Jung then, they went on a little ride and so on and all. I think I can't remember, I'm not quite sure. I think she had on this thing that is normally put on the surfboard and still die. Okay, so my brother and my sisters, I'm saying all of this to say to you that if you understand the power of your mind, you never ever blame an enemy outside. The enemy is within. It's all mental. Thoughts do become things. You have to learn to control your thoughts and your emotions. You have to learn to control your mind. Okay? You have to understand the Bible is parabolic from beginning to ending. Okay? And I can go on and on and on and on and on. I always knew, based on my experience, when I get the William Branham tips and so on, based on what my experiences that I get, I knew I was special. I know I was called for certain work. And let me just say this last thing. I remember quite vividly, right? One time the pastor up here for the Third Assembly, he was talking about his name in the book, and he's Timothy, and tried to say Vin is Paul and so on. So one time now when he talking so much and taking, I say I see my name in Timothy too. I see my name in the Bible. You understand? And because I've always been operating with this kind of intuition or intuitiveness and so on, certain gifts I have from long time, right? I knew exactly that he was going to the pub and we were going to pull the scripture that says that bodily exercise profited little, but God has profited. He did it. He did exactly that. And, I do ever pass him anyway straight. I remember all the things that he preached. That's why if he go against what he preach, I could tell, like when he go and do advertisement for bank, and talk about and borrow loan and holding up Bible and thing in bank. After he been preaching them thing, they and saying the borrower is a slave to the land and all of them thing. I mean, I have to speak the truth, bro. You understand? And I'm not saying he wasn't deal with the bank. Right now, the bank glad to have somebody like me because they're glad. The other day I went in the bank and the line was moving so slow and I was beginning to open my mouth. A lady called me aside. They know what I have in the bank. She called me aside and tell me go to this post by the other bank and just tell you send me. She gonna call her and tell she send me and all of that because I had some foreign currency I wanted to deal with and so on. And like about 2 cashiers and so much of people in the line and people are free. That's how I've always been. I remember. Well, now I do everything online, right? But pay my bills, do all of that. But I had someone who used to listen to me on the internet. They key me and they give me a bunch of money in those kind of currency, right? But anyway, I remember quite vividly one time I go to the Vinlek when I'm going to pay bills, okay, electricity bills. And most people think it's government own those places, No, it's families own them, okay, but I won't go into that. And I begin to open my mouth and speak because they had about just 2 cash. You see people in a place standing and so on, and I don't like to waste time. If you give me a book and I could sit down and read it, fine, no problem. But, and I begin to thing, and they find the people manager, everybody come and talk to me, and they wouldn't keep me quiet. And when I leave, they get through. I tell them if they want to get rid of me quick, deal with me, they deal with me. I leave, and must about 2 weeks later, a man meet me, and man was telling the other guys on the block about me, and in Vinlek, and so a man told me, just as the lead police reached, they had called the police. So my brother and my sisters, this is a man trying to pretend, this is a man looking for noticing, as well. I was saying, you know, my brothers in Africa, you say, I smoke weed, this, that. You need to have, even if I was smoking weed, there are things I know about weed that you don't know about weed. Why you think the white man is go all the way in the Amazon, go get a drink of ayahuasca? You know weed at the empty. You know, I don't mess with weed because not because weed is bad as what they tell you preachers. I'm gonna tell you something that's just now, right? Do you know weed at the empty inside of it? I use the word empty because I can't pronounce the big word right now, but you could research it yourself. All those people using LSD and using all them psychedelic, check out the word psychedelic too. You understand? To get the experience I get, the boss in my crown chakra and all of that become spirit and all of that. They're looking for it a different way. Through psychedelic. Okay? So you have to understand your brainwash. Okay? There was something else I was gonna say, but it go from me because my frequency get break a little. So yeah, so when you talk about weed and so on, you need to check out things about psychedelic and ayahuasca and so on and all of that. And to see now in my country, the other day they send a bunch of young men from this country to go work on marijuana farms in North America, while so many young men were put in prison down here. So my brothers in Africa and my brothers all around the Caribbean, don't be that foolish, don't be that gullible, don't be one track minded, be open minded. Get out of the paradigm, break the paradigm. Okay, you know, I didn't mean to make this video so long, you know, but I really want to help you get out of the paradigm. If you check all over the internet, you think Vinny known for all of the sermons that he did? Talking about money preposition and Daniel and this and that. You think he's known for that? Is it 28 million? When I go down to Third Exodus, the very first time they had newspapers stick up all over the place. I don't read newspaper. Newspaper a bunch of negativity and think they could decode this and they could decode that. Then the brothers start to have a bunch of movies with all kind of thing inside of the movies. Whether they had cause, what they call cause words, which is basically expression as far as I'm concerned. They used to have all of those movies that brothers used to live on the land and so on and all of that. So people, you think I just come out and be against? I am against Vin. I thank Vin and I thank the pastor up here too, who raised under Vin. Because Vin used to tell his certain things on the phone. And then he used to preach them. That's why I know he was trying to teach the law. But he never experienced the promise. He never got any further. The law, he was trying to teach the law. That's why he used to talk about the subconscious mind and so on, but he couldn't break it and explain to you how I could do it because I have a better understanding of it from the scientific standpoint and from the biblical standpoint and from my experience. So Vin used to give him a little bit of coaching and the phone with metaphysical terms and esoteric terms. And then put the eagle by his gate. Do you realize the eagle and the symbol of the eagle in many countries and so on? He represents the sun, only eagle could look in the sun. Man, I could go into so much things. But so for my brother and my sisters in Africa and all them, please, and the people who call me a kind of name, I forgive you. I love you. It's all about love. You know, it's just have always been about love, and it will always be about love. I learned a lot from Vin, and I learned a lot from the pastor you have up here, a lot. So I'm fixing everything and putting everything right with people who get me wrong, because I know this would have been my time, okay, to show you, because I knew my intention. Okay, so let me come to a close here and let me thank you very much for listening to me. Peace. I'm out.